5 minutes, but this is fine too.
It'll give me enough time to spread this shit around.
You got time. I'm not saying you don't. Just saying let's get it started.
Oh, hey, there we are. Hey, welcome everyone. It's Friday night. It is time for the best damn call-in show on the interwebs. Get your shit together. My name is Steve Poikin, and I am joined by my better than your co-host, Glory Jones.
Hi.
Oh no.
Oh,
What's
did
happening?
something.
I just had to. No, I just freaked out there for a second because I caught it, but I was about ready to let the rock band play without muting it.
All right.
How's it going, Joe?
It's going. I was just on the Free Assange vigil with we had Magnus Suarez for 30 minutes only. And then Savage Joy, Magnus, and David McBride.
No,
who's
that's
a
cool.
Class A individual.
He
And
is.
yeah.
Love that David McBride fella. Good stuff.
Oh my God. Like y'all could listen to him talk all day, really. It's like I said, his voice is so badass it sounds like he fights mechanical space sharks with a flamethrower. So yeah. And then yeah. And I mean, I don't know if there was in terms of like, like pre-calling in topics to get people kind of, warmed up. I kind of wanted to say something about this event happening tomorrow in Los Angeles. Yeah. So let me.
What event is that, Glory Jones?
So if you guys don't know, Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, I'm pretty sure, not all of LA County, but the city of Los Angeles recently passed a mandate which would basically require a Vaxport for any kind of like indoor nightlife, indoor life in general, which is pretty draconian. So in response, this event is going to be happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you can make it, it's in Hollywood. Yeah. So that's pretty much that. But one thing I do want to say, and I am glad that I can disclose this with the good people of the Slow News Day audience and chat, is I want to display some of the other iterations of this event flyer. So if you guys are familiar with the World Cup and the Euros, the UEFA Euros, and how you see all those videos of the drunk English fans yelling, "It's coming home!" Like how you think of all those like whiskey drunk English football fans during the World Cup. So I want you to keep that in mind when I show you what the original flyer for this event was.
Aren't they called hooligans?
This is the original flyer for that march.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Why? Like, where the fuck do the lions come from?
Looks like a fucked up ad for like live action Lion King.
No. I'm gonna bet because when we were at the rally in Sacramento last month, where'd Christy go? Okay, there was a whole group that had shirts on that had something to do with lions, and they were one of the co-sponsors of the event. And it was a phrase, and I'm surprised it's not on if it's the same people. This is not a Trump rally. That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, that's how bad it is they have to qualify it by saying it's not a Trump by saying it's not a Trump rally. I mean, what? Let the lions loose. Like we're like, if this is Patriots, why aren't they using the bald eagle at the very least? Like the lions are like the British Dutch thing.
I don't know. They're using the laziest fucking animal in the animal kingdom. So male lions don't do shit.
Where they let the women do almost all of the work, and then just kind of show up, fuck, eat, shit, and sleep.
That's about right.
Yeah. And it's like
King of the jungle.
it's like so I want the people who come to this rally to know that that there are a couple of, culture war grifters possibly at the heart of organizing this that are hoping to use the anti-mandate scene to further some sort of culture war bullshit agenda. And let's not let that happen, please, guys. So that's, yeah, I just really wanted y'all to show the flyer, because when I got sent this flyer, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this.
I mean, I promise you that the people who were organizing this event did not sit there and go, you know who's gonna be pissed off about this flyer? Very particular European football fans. Maybe our event, where is this again? Hollywood and Vine in Los Angeles, California, USA should reconsider our flyer imagery based on the deep-seated loyalty and predilection of European football fans.
They did, though. I mean, they change these flyers around all the time, because that protest I went to at City Hall that one time a couple weeks ago, that was in solidarity with the Worldwide Rally for Freedom. The original flyer for that event had some shit that said like "Unite to stop socialism," and it's like, oh. But I mean, yeah, I get it.
Pamela Drew in the Rockfin chat says it's nationwide. New York starts at Columbus Circle at 1 p.m. March to Times Square. Excellent. And Trey Wright threw a super ray. Thank you very much, brother man. Howdy mates, love y'all. We love you back, Trey. Big shouts to Trey. He's a badass.
Yeah, Trey. Thank you very much, Trey. It is always appreciated on Slow News Day.
That's funny. So
yeah, but honestly, I just needed someone else.
Maybe that's what the Humboldt Health thing is too. I never heard from the organizers for that. I'm gonna have to hit up Jared and figure that out. But yeah, there's something called like the Humboldt Health Alliance, and an event mid-October is what I heard. So perhaps, I don't know. It would be nice if both. Before we open the phone lines, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll tell that story after the show, because then it's just like risking karma and shit like that. I don't want to do that. But we had for this Sunday, Reverend Annie Chambers scheduled for Slow News Day's third birthday at Glory Jones's year anniversary. Reverend Annie is in a health clinic. The Delta got her. They did everything to keep her away from like people who wanted to jab her and like throw her on a ventilator and shit like that. So she is not going to be here. Ian is going to be here, and I'm kind of thinking for like the second hour, maybe we could do mod panel or random MCSC drop-ins or something like that. Yeah. Or random drop-ins. I don't know. I don't know.
We work out all our production meetings on air, guys.
It's been a while since we've had a Slow News Day production meeting on the air.
right?
It is.
Right.
It's been a minute. It's been a
And
minute.
don't worry, y'all. Reverend Annie didn't catch the Rona. The Rona caught Reverend Annie. So,
Right.
uh-huh.
Right. Oh, the show is sponsored by Matrix Bars. Matrix Bars are 3.5 grams of psilocybin mushrooms in a delicious chocolate bar. They come in 3 flavors. They're very yummy. I don't even dig strawberries and cream that much, and it was good. Um, the the Oreo or cookies and cream one, whatever. Yeah, very tasty. Um, you can get a hold of them by scanning the QR code in the top corner of the screen there, or you can DM them on Twitter or Instagram at Matrix Genetics, MatrixGenetix. I've been getting a lot of feedback off of these, which is awesome, by the way. And everybody seems to have enjoyed themselves thoroughly. There are different ideas of what a microdose is, and what and just remember, guys, like I ate 3 pieces when I got on a Greyhound bus from Garberville down to San Francisco before I flew out to Denver back in August, and I got high. I was like, wait a minute. I was not prepared for this. And the bus ride was lovely. It was. It was. I was stunned by I'm like, holy shit, dude, I got a nice buzz on. This is unexpected. And so you are grateful for, things of that. You try to take advantage of it. So Matrix Bars, you should go get in on that. You should. You know what? Okay. So perhaps I'm a glutton because I do have a number of like, whoops, I hit that pipe and it had the chunga in it, or like, whoops, I ate too many mushrooms, or whoops,
We do get quite a few stories in the Slow News Day element. I think the last time that happened was when you were visiting Keith McHenry.
Yeah. And then there was a time where I accidentally flew mushrooms across the country, reached into a jacket and went, oh, way to go, TSA.
Did you mention the time that you took a hit of DMT on air with Dario Hunter?
That's what I'm saying. I accidentally, I thought it had herb in it. I did. I thought it was a tiny little freaking pot, a little pot pipe on my desk, and I had smoked herb in it. I had forgotten the last thing that I'd smoked out of it was changa, because it had been a couple of days. I had done shit. Mid-interview with Dario Hunter, who had come on to continue putting the chicanery of the Green Party, and more specifically the Green Party or Green Power faction within it. After Ian did and raised all kinds of hell, Dario was still running for president. Although just as an independent or something like that. And I oh. Ooh, and when you breathe it, it was a much better interview. We're gonna go ahead and open the phone lines now. Alice, thank you. Go ahead and give us a ring. 657-298 4767. This is gonna be because of the way that our interwebs have to be handled here on the property, the season finale of Get Your Shit Together. We're gonna put the show to bed here for a little bit. I am probably gonna keep the phone line though, and have some fun with that. Maybe once a week on the morning show. It's still a production meeting. I'm sorry, guys. 65298-4767. Give us a ring. Let us know what you got going on. I listened to a very good interview with the Convo Couch and Dr. Peter McCullough earlier today. You guys should definitely check that out if you have not. If I drop a link in the, I gotta
Darth Woolery ringing up.
No,
Hello?
Hello?
Rob.
Hello?
This is who I think it is, Rob! Yes!
Hi. How are
What's
you?
happening, Rob?
Is everybody okay? That's the first thing I want to know. Are we okay?
Yeah, just saw you in the chat in the vigil, Rob. Always good to see you in the chats, my man.
Thank you.
Splendid.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. I love you.
Oh,
we love you too, Rob.
Thank you
I
for
got
calling
some
in, man. How has Rob been? I feel like we haven't got to hear from you in a minute because we haven't run the show.
There's been some big learning going on. You know, Rob has had to learn a few lessons. You know, it's one thing I gotta say. You're never ready to be. You're never ready to be quite so humbled as your body is going to guarantee that you are sooner or later, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I'm an old guy now, but I feel like I'm 14 on the inside, you know?
Aw.
And so every now and then I go to do a typical 14-year-old thing, and my 62-year-old body says, "Nuh-uh. That ain't gonna happen." Well, I've had a few of those instances. I've had to chop some wood, and I've already got problems just even moving, right? So there's me trying to chop wood, and well, last time I tried to do that, end of my thumb came off, and so I'm extra careful now, right? But it turns out when you're chopping wood and trying to be extra careful, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to give that shit a whack if anything's going to happen, right? So there's me trying to whack at the log, and it ain't working, and the axe goes spinning out of my hand, and oh, okay, I'm going to sit back down now. That's not for me. I'm going to let that wood sit, and somebody else is going to have to chop it for me. So then I have to find out who is going to be able to do that can actually come over and do it. Oh my goodness, the trials and tribulations of being an old man. Oh, I'm trying to make it worthwhile, guys. And thankfully, the kids next door just keep yanking me out of my depths, and they force me to play guitar. And after the end of an hour or so, I feel like a human again. So that's my story. But I got questions for you.
Ask away, Rob.
Fire.
Okay, what's the best way to subvert this crazy ass system that we got pretending to take care of us all out here in the West?
Huh. I mean, in my mind, I guess the best way to combat that would be to doggy, sorry. Would be to educate people on alternative. Are you talking about like the health system or the system? Because you said pretending to help people.
System.
Ooh.
System.
Yeah.
The one that's claiming to protect us while in fact it's imprisoning us.
Yeah. I'd say the first step of that is educating people on the fact that it's not helping us, because you're right, there is very much an illusion that we can keep feeding into this system and eventually it's going to reward us when that's not the case. So I'd say first step is to educate people on the fact that the system is really not helping us, and then right after that, in conjunction with that, give them alternatives, like alternative things that you can do, and like more research they can take that will get them to that point where they are self-sufficient enough almost. And yeah, just try to begin the process of divesting from the system via like any education or awareness campaign. I don't know. And then what's your answer, Steve?
I missed the first part of the question. I think I've got most of it based on context, but if you could refresh, because dogs, assholes, that's what they do. I love them. I love them very much, but it was very hard to hear the first part of the question.
I love you too. Okay, so the question was, what's the best way to subvert this system of systems that's pretending to protect while really imprisoning us?
Well, no, I mean that Glory had several good points there, but I mean I've been on this. I don't know. I want to call it certainty, because we don't sell certainty, but I have a lot of historical context for, and some very positive thoughts about parallel societies and counter economics. And for just over the last couple of years, watching the Freedom Cell movement expand the way that it has, knowing that there are a number of other communities like that. Like Ben just last week had Owen Benjamin on, who's got a thing called Beartaria that is essentially like the Bear Trail.
Yeah, the Great Bear Trail.
Yeah, the Great Bear Trail, which is essentially the homesteaders and people who are done with with all. So I think the next step is networking all of those people and getting all of us talking, because that's where the mutual aid and trade networks get established, and that's when that's when we can really put counter economics to use, because now we've got a lot of people in a lot of places where we can exchange labor, exchange goods, exchange service, exchange all of these. So it's a matter of, I guess, trying to herd a bunch of feral kittens, Rob.
Yep. Yep. To try to answer my own question, I was doing some thinking about that too the other day, and the first thing that occurred to me was that what we're calling the system is a kind of a crazy ass hodgepodge of things that don't really fit together, but are kind of mashed into the same building anyway, and it's just sort of smudged into shape, and it's just good enough to convince people that it's there, but it doesn't function like an institution. It doesn't function like it was designed to. And so when I thought about subverting the thing that exists that's holding us back, the first thing that came to mind was we have to replace what's broken with something that works better, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is why, and I haven't I mean, I would trotted it out for a minute, but the analogy that if you had a machine that was designed to kill you, your fix for that wouldn't be let's slap a couple of shiny new parts on it every 2 to 4 years and that'll handle it. All you're doing is prolonging the life of a machine designed to kill you. It is insane to think that
it makes no sense to improve the thing that's designed to kill me. That's great. Yeah. So replacing stuff that's not working with stuff that works better. The first thing that comes to mind there for me is the idea of foreign, which is really domestic policy, depending on a whole bunch of very politely spoken lies. And what I'd rather see is some bad manners and common sense. Does that ring a bell with you? Does that smell good to you guys? I'd rather see some bad and bluntly spoken truth.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Good. That's we've got to take advantage of it while we can, on all of the, everywhere we can. I think that we're going to see a ridiculous increase in the war on truth going into 2022.
Yeah, yep.
And I think that to counter that, we're going to see almost across the board legalization of cannabis and psychedelics, or at least small amounts of them, because they do have to pacify the mob a little bit. There's probably a couple other things that Congress could do legislatively to get people to back down. But in terms of no longer being polite, we're not going to be able to rely on anybody but ourselves for that. Rob, you know that, right? Because everybody that's in a position of perceived power is there because they don't ask questions and they are very polite. And I'm including everyone in the chattering class and all of the corporate news and their satellite affiliates in the quote unquote independent media, the ones with like Katzenberg Cash or, fucking, what was that? What was, you saw that, right? The screenshot of, that, oh God, he's like a model. And his fat uncle has a jink. Hassan. He makes like $200,000 a month on Twitch. The socialist Twitch streamer raking in damn near $250,000 a month. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
No, I was just calling that's the rich boy that's trying to get down with the poor people, and I was just saying he can fuck off. Hassan Piker, dude. Yeah, go. Yeah, don't even blow me. Just go away.
I had never heard this guy talk before, ever. I'd never heard him talk before, and Dave Smith did a whole podcast about a video that Hassan Piker did about Dave Smith. So it was a response video. And I had to listen to Hassan Piker for probably 25 minutes, maybe. They were throughout the hour plus podcast. But this guy is the #1 Twitch streamer for the exact same reason that Home Alone was a #1 movie. And for the exact same reason that, like, merchandise through, Disney films comes out months before and stays relevant for months after because he's a completely mindless piece of marketing. It is wild, dude. But rarely have heard. So, and it's got to be on purpose, right? That's got to be on purpose. Nobody's that dumb.
Yeah, that's designed. Yep, that's a created thing. I'm sure of it. But
just quick, because I don't want to, like, if anybody wants to go watch the podcast, you should watch that. It's hilarious. But like, I'm not gonna spoil much, but I will say this, dude. Dave Smith realizes very, very, and maybe he did the first time, but he's like, this guy's a fucking neoliberal. That's all he is. Just a neoliberal. Listen to him. He's there sticking up for the state and big pharma and the cops. I mean, he trashes the dude. It's hysterical. It is. The people that are paying Hassan Piker, Resident Gray, are the parents of the 15 to 17-year-old girls who watch that show.
Not just girls, come on.
Well, and boys and whatever else other kin Hassan Piker fans.
You're underestimating this dude's audience, dude. It's pretty nuts. I go lie.
No, I mean, he's got like 1.5 million followers on Twitter, dude. It's insane. It's insane.
Like,
he makes 200.
He gets more live viewers than his uncle. That's for fucking sure.
I'll got Trudeau's audience. He's got Trudeau's audience. Same gang. Same bunch of people. Oh, he's cute. Let's like him. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here, guys. I love you, but I can't stay. And besides, this is the call-in show. I got to make room for other people.
We love you too, Rob.
Well, all right, Rob. We love you, brother. You have a fantastic night, and thank you as always for calling in.
Man, we gotta call Ian back.
For you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working up a small present just for you guys. Bye.
All right.
Love you, Rob.
Much love, Rob.
Bye.
Bye.
We're gonna call back Ian.
I believe so.
Oh,
Okay.
that ruffian.
Hey.
Who's the ruffian we have on the line?
This is Another Worldview is Possible. It's me, Ian.
Hey, Ian.
What's going on,
How
Ian?
we all doing tonight?
What?
I am.
How we all doing?
Oh, that's what you said.
I
I'm
am
doing.
fried. I'm fucking fried, dude. I started driving like 9, little after this morning.
Uh-oh.
I got here about
all day.
I got here about an hour ago.
Damn.
Yeah. Long day. Long day. Lots of windshield time.
Right. Well, first off, I just thought I would chime in about the event in Hollywood tomorrow. First off, if you really don't want to hang out with the freedom movement folks, and I understand why some people wouldn't. At noon every Saturday at Grand Park in downtown LA, there's the Educators for Health Choice, I think it is, a group that's supposed to be meeting at noon every Saturday there. So you don't have to go to the big march if it's, and I don't know how big it's going to wind up being, but I'd imagine after this week's headlines, it would be bigger than it would have been when they planned it. So there is an alternative. You can just go to the downtown LA thing, a block north of the city hall there, Grand Avenue or Grand Park, and you could do that. But I gotta say, for the most part, I find it hard to hate people who are standing up for my rights, even when I disagree with them vehemently on political things and immigration issues and everything else. They're standing up for rights, like the right not to be part of a human medical experimentation gene therapy regime mandated by, Dr. Mengele or whoever runs the CDC these days. So, I'm willing to put up with these folks, and I'm willing to reach out and, risk catching Nosball or whatever it is that, this red-brown alliance that, exists like a mythical unicorn in the minds of, shit-lib columnists and pundits. They're not gonna make me a Nazi, guarantee that. And, if they're willing to stand side by side with someone who self-identifies as an anti-fascist, then God bless them. That shows that maybe they're not quite the full-on fascists we always thought they were. Meanwhile, across the street is going to be, a group of guys dressed in black who basically take their orders from, I don't know, Joe Biden, Gavin Newsom, the CDC, the FDA. I don't know where they get their orders from, but it ain't good.
We know it's George Soros.
Yeah, well, I think it's Chad Loader. This guy's
oh my god. I am blocked by Chad Loader. I've never interacted.
I forgot about that.
Yes. Full disclosure, I have never interacted in person with Chad Loader. I've seen him on the ground before. Never interacted with him just because I never did or felt the need to. But yeah, one day I was just scrolling Twitter and I found that there was a thread of information that I couldn't see for some reason. And then I looked to see who tweeted it out. Turns out it was Chad Loader, and I'm blocked for what I assume is my coverage of the anti-mandate protest that isn't filled with partisan bullfuckery.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys are for freedom, which means if you don't agree with them, you're blocked. Right? They're against fascism, except just about every other fucking way you want to look at it. If you're not with us, we're gonna kick your ass. If you're not with us, we're gonna, protest you. If you're not with Gavin Newsom, you're a Nazi. I mean, give me a goddamn break. Gavin Newsom's a scion of a right-wing money family.
Man.
What's that?
Ian, the real anti-fascists are the ones who are supporting the federal government, the state government.
Right.
Let's see, who else? Big Pharma, the military-industrial complex, DARPA, Peter Thiel.
What about Klaus Schwab? The Great
What
Reset.
about Klaus?
I love that guy. He's got like the coolest Sith Lord tunic. It's epic. I don't know. Look for Klaus Schwab. Sith Lord if you want to do a web search.
Have you seen the picture of him in like fucking oligarch Burning Man where he's in the dick hammock?
No,
it's probably
I wonder if that's like a Photoshop or what.
Yeah.
It could be him. I don't know. I mean, we don't know how he parties.
I think it was Photoshop.
Right. I've seen that picture with a bunch of people's heads on it, so it's hard telling. But
yeah.
Okay.
The Swiss / Germans, kind of freaky. Yeah,
well, we know our photocrats do like to get freaky. I mean, Jeff Epstein was a good buddy of Bill Gates for years, including going back to the 90s, even though that's all been scrubbed off the internet. So there you go. Plutocrat freaky style. It's a thing.
Well, speaking of, Peter Nygard got, I want to say, like officially charged Did you hear about
he?
this? Do you guys know about this?
I know the story, but I
It's,
didn't hear about the charges. What?
Okay, I'll bring the article up. Maybe it'll even be done loading by the time. There we go. So this is last week. Well, beginning of this week, something like that. But the walls are closing in. Remember that? Oh, that was such a great compilation. The walls are closing. The Russiagate one, Mueller report.
TikTok.
On Prince Andrew and the world's powerful elite as their sick child rape crimes look set to be exposed to the whole world, Peter Nygaard, close friend of the Duke of York and former Epstein associate, will soon be extradited from Canada to the United States to face charges of child sex trafficking, child rape, and running a massive elite pedophile ring. So if you guys heard about this, right? That he did get arrested last year, Peter Nygaard.
Yeah.
So this is the official, like the US is getting all their extradition ducks in a row because they're going back after Julian at the end of the month too. So let's look at this here. When Nygaard will actually be sent to the US was further complicated by an announcement from the Toronto Police Service that has a warrant to arrest him on 6 charges of sexual assault and 3 of forcible confinement. Those incidents, the force said, took place between 1987 and 2005 in that city. The charges would be the first Mr. Nygaard faces in Canada. There are myriad charges for this guy. So there's been a hold put on it. The minister has 2 choices. And let me ask you, Ian,
Yeah.
Is Canada coming in with this while the extradition request has been approved? Is Canada coming in with this at the 11th hour? Way to stall? A way to not get him to the US? A way to maybe Epstein Nygaard in Canada?
So in other words, domestically prosecute him so they don't have to export him. It's you know that's higher grade law than I've ever dealt with, but I'm pretty sure that might work because first you have to face your charges locally, then the U.S. might let you get prosecuted after the fact or something like that. Sometimes they do that where there's 2 different sets of charges in different areas, and they'll just do wherever you're at first, and then they'll try you, and then you'll be sort of sent across to the next venue to get charged and tried. But there are time limits on these kinds of things too. Is that?
What?
I was going to say, does the U.S. intervene and say, "Oh no, you can have them when we're done"?
Right. That's a good question. We'll have to see. I would imagine that the U.S. and Canada collaborate pretty closely behind the scenes about how they're going to do things. So if the U.S. already had these charges pending against him, and then Canada suddenly comes up with new charges, that's probably not an accident. Probably not just something that just happened. I'm sure they probably figured out a way to make that go down. But yeah, that dude's a real creep. Jamie Deluxe has done some good Nygaard stories, and he's owns one of the islands next to Jeff Epstein's and a few other folks in the region. So yeah, he's one of those guys in the Bahamas doing whatever he feel like, and that includes rape and horrible shit. So it couldn't happen to a better guy, no matter where he gets it. That's the good news. But then the question is, does he wind up sipping drinks in a Cyprus villa with Jeff Epstein after he so-called kills himself, or We just don't know what happens
I
with these
don't
kinds of
think
things.
Epstein got that. I don't think he did. I
Yeah,
don't. I don't think he died in that cell. But
Yeah,
I don't
I don't
think
think so either.
they gave him the island. I think they gave him a chair and a lot of duct tape.
In
And
Israel.
once they found where all of his blackmail was, where all of his safe houses, shell companies, all that shit, once they had it all, then they got rid of him. But I don't think for a moment he died in that. So Ian, we've been, I think, how long is it? I feel like
What's
we've been
that?
going for a little. Oh, I'm trying to figure out where we're at in terms of the
In the call.
But I mean, what do
12
you think? What do you think? Yeah, because I don't want to go over too much because what, Jones?
We don't have anyone in the queue or anything.
I was just saying 12 minutes.
Well, then
Okay.
fine.
Ask a question.
Jesus. Let me pose something to you, Ian. Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Nygaard, the French piece of shit fashion guy, whose name
Brunel.
Brunel.
Luke Brunel. These guys being identified, these guys potentially going down. Is that, are we looking at a house cleaning operation so that they can get rid of the old guard and have a bunch of new, like, faceless or young, popular, nobody's ever going to think because they're Ashton Kutcher and they run a thing for abused children or missing children kind of organization?
First off, I don't think that the overarching concept of what these guys were doing is ever going to go anywhere. I think that they use these operations for political blackmail, and they're always going to need that. So getting rid of the guy who became too high profile and whose name got into the press and who became an embarrassment, whether that means getting him killed or just stashing them someplace where they're not going to get seen. Because frankly, if you kill off your own operatives, it makes other people who work for you a little less likely to want to, not plan for their future. And so I kind of wonder whether they killed Epstein or whether they're just keep him on ice somewhere in Tel Aviv or Cyprus or Riyadh or someplace where no one will ever see him, But because the reality is, once he's out of U.S. custody and he's officially dead, what reason would he have not to give them everything he had? It's they wanted all that blackmail material anyway, and it doesn't really do him any good. He can't come forward with it because he's not allowed to show up in the press. So anyway, as far as house cleaning, it feels like that to me. Like basically these guys have become way too high profile and they have to disappear one way or the other so that the operations can continue. There was Heidi Fleiss, was the Hollywood Madam. There was a guy named Anthony Pellegrino who was like a private eye who corrupted the Pacific Division detectives here in LA. And he wound up going to prison, but there was like stories about how there was like a Mossad ecstasy ring connected to what he was up to, so these things.
There was Elliot Spitzer too, right? The mayor, wasn't he the mayor, going to be mayor of New York? Mayor of New York? Elliot Spitzer.
Who is it?
And he was involved with like a number of high-end call girls and shit like that. And then they gave him a show on MSNBC.
Oh, okay. Are we talking about the former Attorney General of New York?
I think so, yeah. And he was running for like governor or mayor or something like that.
Oh, he had a political future for sure. And then all of a sudden,
and then he got like, but he was like way more involved than just I bought me some poon.
Yeah. No, he was chasing, procurers and solicitors and all that shit. And then all of a sudden it turns out he was a client and not just, not just the president of the club. So, yeah. Hey,
How many times do you think Anthony Weiner's name was in the calendar of that agency? Or Carlos Danger?
Guaranteed. I mean, first off, nobody has ever seen Anthony Weiner's laptop again, right? That thing just disappeared into an FBI black hole. And like every single Hillary Clinton email that disappeared was on that thing, supposedly. Not to mention all sorts of other incriminating stuff. And yet, what did they get him for? Like sexting and some inappropriate texts. Yeah. I mean,
they got him. Yeah. They got him for sexting with a 15-year-old that he told his name was Carlos Danger.
That's right. Wait, what was
there was like some dude, it was Sydney Leathers. Sydney Leathers was one of his sexting buddies too. And fucking he was Carlos for her too. She fucking put like screenshots out and shit back. It was so fucking hilarious, dude. She parlayed that into like fucking at least 10.5 minutes. Not the full 15, but at least 10.5.
Right. Well, he was Huma Abedin's beard, right? I mean, we were trying to pretend that she and Hillary weren't like an item at the time. So it was like good that he had like a wife and she had, a husband, but obviously they were not like a real romantic thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of came through in the end, but I don't think people picked up on it. Hey, I've got a news item that just came across my desk. Turns out that the Dynamite Fortune that issues a peace prize every year gave one to Barack Obama before he'd done anything or killed anyone with drones or anything. That the Nobel Peace Prize was given to one journalist in the Philippines who, for all I know, actually does good work, and also to the editor-in-chief of the CIA's Novaya Gazeta, founded by Gorbachev money. Gorbachev, the guy with the office down at the Presidio in San Francisco next to the Dalai Lama. They picked the guy from the paper that I think is connected to Alexei Navalny. Navalny himself was nominated. I was looking at The Guardian, and they mentioned a bunch of other people. Greta Thunberg could have gotten it. The Reporters Sans Frontières and the Committee to Protect CIA Journalists. But the one group that they did not mention, who should have gotten it and got nothing. Actually, let's not forget the COVAX group. They could have given it to the COVAX people, the ones who are jabbing everybody across the planet.
Yeah.
Instead, they could have given it to the Henry Reeves Brigade from Cuba, the guys who went to Africa and Asia and did, yeoman's work saving lives early on in the pandemic. And apparently didn't even make the cut for who the Guardian decided was a possible recipient.
Of course they didn't, Ian. Of course they didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, big, real quick. Let me give a big shout to, I'm going to assume Scott, but Truthzilla in the YouTube chat. I had a fantastic conversation with the three-headed monster Wednesday, and that will air on their Rockfin Sunday, and it will air on our Rockfin Sunday night, and I think that's going to be a premium episode for a couple of days. It's a memory hold episode. I didn't get a chance to get the one that I did with Ryan edited together yet. I went and saw my kids for so I was doing that pretty much the entire time that I was able to. So
as you should.
At any rate, huge shouts to Truth. We had a fantastic conference. Oh my god, dude. I'll tease it a little bit and make sure that you're following Truzilla over on the Rock Fan. We talked about the 10 stages of genocide, because in this world that we live in now, where words don't fucking mean anything, and everyone's of this or everyone's of that, or every event is, some sort of cataclysm. We wanted to go back and take a look at like active genocides in the modern era, and kind of relate it to the madness that we're currently living in.
Oh,
Big
we got a
thanks,
super
you
chat.
guys.
Thank
Love you guys. Super grateful to have connected. Thanks for letting us put that episode out early. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. So do check that out. And I gotta say, in terms of the way that I do believe it was Dr. Sutton or Stunton. I can't remember exactly. The guy who put together the concept of 10 stages of genocide. If you look at what's going on right now, it's wow.
Does it start with media control?
No, that's actually like stage 3 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit further down.
All
But
right,
we're not gonna play a guessing game and give away the whole fucking episode, Ian. That would be bad form. Bad form.
No. I don't want that. I'm just like trying to brush up on my my genocide technique, since it seems like it's really the thing we're going for these days. If anyone who's anyone, knows their genocide, knows how to do it. 1984 was an instruction manual. It was,
Yeah. So was Kafka's Trial. So was Brave New World. Man,
Right?
a lot of things turned out to be way more form, or function than form.
Right. Practical applications of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totalitarianism for dummies.
Well, that's me. I'm a dummy. Well,
What did I see?
Someone else get in here, do their thing.
Is anyone in the queue right now?
Sure.
There's no one in the queue, but I'm sure I can throw the number up.
All right.
Well, and I've got I threw a clip, Jones, in the StreamYard chat, or a link to a tweeters, because it's Claire Daly going fucking awesome sauce in Parliament. And I do,
right?
yeah, I love this woman. I do not like politics. She got a fucking podcast with that Mick Wallace. Huh? Like the two like rogue Irish members of Parliament have a podcast. If you're ever in the mood, which you should be on a long drive or something like that, put that on. It's fucking golden. It is.
Nice. Yeah, watching her tear up, the European Parliament, and the indictment of Assange, and then pointing out like all the folks that are walking free, and like was she going after, like, I don't know, she's just comparing the hypocrisy of like who we prosecute and who we don't. That's just it's essential.
It's the show is called Spoiler Alerts with Another Worldview is Possible. Yeah,
I've given a few spoilers.
Do you want me to share it now, or?
I think Ian should just recite it, but do it in an Irish accent.
My Irish accent is horrible. I'm much better with Scots. Much better with Scottish.
Okay, wait.
I saw
wait.
Gaina Fauci. I saw Gaina Fauci in the Rockfin chat. Maybe Tom will grace us with his delightful Irish brogue.
Yeah, please call in.
All right. Well,
I'm
gonna share it. Let me share screen. Let me make sure.
Share audio.
It's checked, Mr. CEO.
Keep fucking it up, dude. That's my own mania. I'm gonna grab a dab while this is happening.
President, disinformation is, of course, a social ill, but it's not new. For years, we've had billionaire-owned tabloid press peddling lies, and nobody particularly cared about it. So if there is a threat to our societies, it's certainly not from online disinformation, and it's not from abroad. It's actually from right here, in the creeping authoritarianism and intolerance of the political mainstream. And we see it in the securitized language in the question, which I have to say is very dangerous. The question talks about social media platforms facilitating espionage. I mean, seriously, when we say this, it's actually an abuse of language. And is it any wonder then that we have the scandal of journalists like Algirdas Paleckis being prosecuted for espionage in Lithuania without a shred of evidence, without a chance to meet his accusers, and we've never even mentioned his name in here. We've Julian Assange facing 175 years in a maximum security prison for espionage, but actually for revealing US war crimes, and we say nothing. Colleagues, you know, we claim here to be defending democracy, but the question calls for sanctions. Are we forgetting the two distinguished guests who came before the Foreign Interference Committee and warned us against this, who warned us about the potential illegality of such a move? In actual fact, sanctions are an instrument of international law. They only should be used within the framework of the United Nations in order to protect human rights.
I think I'm in love.
Claire Daly, if you're watching this, another worldview is possible. His DMs are open.
I'm so anti-social media. There is no DM channel. The only one who knows how to get in touch with me is Glory Jones. So, you know, she's the back channel, Claire.
Hilarious. I just
for Ian.
Hey, I love you guys, both of you, three of you. Sleepy Josh, don't want to forget the tech ninja. But I think I probably should to let someone else get in here who has something new to say.
Always a pleasure.
Obviously, we know where I'm at. I'm going to be in Hollywood tomorrow, marching alongside God only knows who, perhaps getting into a scuffle with the black masked bunch. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I'll be there too. So.
I hope that you are safe and sound, and that that the the black bloc either drops their badge and trips over it right before they take a swing at you, or you get one of the actual like unaware ones, and it's a 107-pound black skinny jeans, blue-haired, four-eyed warrior for social justice. Because I've seen you, Ian. You can take them.
Yeah, I got skills. That's true. Anyway, I love y'all. And Resident Gray in the chat saying you can't call in. You'll be able to in about 10 seconds because I'm about to drop off here. All right. So my love to all, and I'll be listening to the rest of the show. And maybe even moderating or something, doing what they're supposed to do in the moderation world.
All right. See you tomorrow, Ian.
Have a great night, brother.
All right. Sounds good.
Bobby
Love y'all.
Foxwell, thank you for the super chat. Read about the Wiener Aberdeen stuff back then. So good to hear someone say they knew about it too. Is no one here to talk about it? Yeah. It gets like that. It really does. Oh, you don't have service. Okay.
Oh. Well, I would just like to point out, Lucky Burrito saying in the chat that Leo can hear us. So, what's good, Leo? Leo!
Hi, Leo. Good boy, Leo. Good boy, Leo. We haven't been able to I didn't do this, I don't think, when it broke, because it was after the show. But Daniel Hale, I don't know if there's been an update since, was transferred out of Northern Neck Regional Jail. His record with the Bureau of Prisons wasn't updated until the day when they learned that he's in Marion, Illinois. And they didn't at that point have a report on why or how he was doing or anything like that. So shuffling around drone assassination program whistleblower Daniel Hale early into his 46 months, 45 months, 46 months was the total sentence, right? I think. But yeah, for bringing to light that in any normal sane world would have caused the military to go, oh shit.
Yeah.
Perhaps we could sort this out. Instead, they went, we're going to make your life miserable and eventually send you to prison. Because what Daniel Hale disclosed was that when a drone strike occurs, this precision targeted assassination misses its target 90% of the time and causes a lot of collateral murder. It is also pointed to around the entire Mideast and anywhere a drone do fly, pointed to as one of the leading catalysts for someone becoming a radical, becoming radicalized, watching a loved one, watching your school, your church, your cousin's wedding get hit with a drone strike. Probably piss you off. Probably would.
Yeah.
At any rate, 657-298-4767. That's the number to call. Let us know what you got going on. We are going to put the show to bed for a little bit for whatever we decided was a season or something. Our ability to live stream and do shows and do interviews and stuff like that, it has a gigabyte limit. So in order to do the stuff that we want to do, gotta move some shit around. Yeah. But man, this shit's been fun. It has.
Yeah.
I like
You
going.
guys are a dope audience.
It's true. I had some really fucking interesting calls.
Oh, that's really nice, free thinker.
And Steve Venwright, thank you for the Super A, and Gaina Fauci, Big Tom. Newsom is making me consider retirement in Kabul. Greasy haired fuck.
Nope.
Oh, rally.
Oh, rally.
What's happening, Paulie? How you doing, man? Shadow Band refugee calling in from the Burque, New Mexico. What's up, boy? How things?
Things are good, man. I saw that you guys were having your season finale, and I was like, oh, I know I just got off the air, but like, it's kind of like full circle. Like you guys are you guys are how I started this whole thing, and so I'm like, hey, well, maybe I should call in for a season finale. I mean, fuck. How are you guys doing?
Well, hell yeah. Oh yeah. And I just saw in the chat you were on with Franco, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we I went over in depth the infrastructure package and some stuff in the reconciliation package, and yeah, what the Build Back Better agenda is, and had a good old time with I guess the forecasting of our doom.
So if you could, for the folks at home, Polly, just a couple of high points on that Build Back Better Act, because the existence of it, I don't know, dude. It's funny for like a dozen reasons, and it's horrific for a dozen times a dozen reasons. But the dozen reasons are so that it's funny. I kind of want to focus on. So let's get through the horrific shit.
I mean, as far as the Build Back Better Act is concerned, I haven't really jumped into that one because I'm already fucking balls deep in another one. But I mean, those three, so far as it stands, right, the Build Back Better agenda as it is now, that's existing of three different bills. That's the Invest in America Act, that's the infrastructure package. The Bernie's reconciliation bill, the building your own prison one, and the Build Back Better Act, which was just finally released a couple of weeks ago. But also, like, as it comes to mind now, because of that whole Fed fucking situation over on the Hill about Facebook and all of that shit, during that hearing, because I watched the whole fucking hearing, they were talking about like there was two fucking senators that were talking about how they've introduced legislation to blah 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 blah, right? Which tells me that's a fucking timed Fed operation so that they can introduce the legislation. So I'm thinking there's going to be at least two more pieces of censorship legislation for the cyberspace as far as the Build Back Better agenda is concerned. But I mean, it's bad, fam. The infrastructure package in and of itself is let's see how I explain this. It's a way to build our own prison.
Because you and I had talked about at one point you coming on to do this anyway. So if you don't mind, just we can chat about it for a minute since you're here.
So yeah, there's the biggest gist of it is so far as I've gotten into it is you're the new market for capital to fucking consume, right? I mean, this is something I just went over with on Franco, but markets are grow or die. They have to find new fucking markets to consume and all that shit, right? And Marx talks about that with fictitious capital. Lenin talked about that with with how the final stage of capitalism is imperialism, right? But he was wrong because we've moved into a new stage, right? And it's cannibalism, where I just came up with that. I'm going to coin that phrase. Trademark, copyright, bitch, pay me.
Make it an NFT.
Yeah. So, like this new stage that we're in, it's like the public-private partnership stage. It's all publicly funding the information and the startup capital and all that shit for private entities to fucking consume more and more data and make that marketable to themselves, but also like through the hand of the state tax you into buying these private products, right? So like I think the first fucking part of that really was the Obamacare thing, right? Like forcing you to buy private health insurance, using the hand of the state to fucking force you to buy private health insurance. But then after that, like, what else do we got? Like, there's the FAST Act, which was Obama era legislation, which kind of fucking built the skeleton for the Invest in America Act. And it's amended several fucking times in this Infrastructure and Invest in America Act. But also, like, there's things that are really, really bad about it. Like, so there's the CV2X technology, right? That's the cellular vehicle to everything technology, insofar as your cell phone and your car and the fucking red light down the street and the Alexa in the house next to wherever you're driving to and the fucking camera on the fucking street light. They're all connected through this Internet of Things technology called CV2X, right? And they're going to charge you a fucking fee per mile you drive. And they'll charge you more based on how you drive and whether or not your fucking vehicle is fuel efficient and all that shit. But they're also going to fucking be charging you to walk. And like, dude, there's fucking even language in there to fucking make sure that you're paying a fee for hiking.
I was trying to like mouth to Steve that he's muted.
Yeah, no, I caught that. Thank you. We know about well, I think most people at this point know about the charge per mile. I'm not sure if they know what the actual excuse is, but what is the we've reported, I don't know, pretty extensively on the IoT over the last year or so. And the fact that like 24 billion devices are projected to be connected to the Internet of Things by 2030. This is the framework for all of this. Does it say anything about smart cities in the infrastructure bill?
Oh yeah, so they're centrally planning cities now at this point. So there's language in there to fucking like to coordinate housing shortages and people that and like lower income communities to be able to fucking live in certain places next to where there's economic development and economic opportunity. You know, they're buzzwords, right? But basically, being that you're gonna have a fucking user fee per mile fucking chingadera where you have to fucking pay to fucking drive, right? You're gonna be priced out of fucking driving unless you're like, oh, it's up there in the fucking income brackets, right? So you're gonna have to fucking live close to fucking where you work. And there's like, so they have a lot of stuff about something called like safe streets and complete streets and fucking safe routes to school and all that shit like that. But that's all fucking setting up for walking and bicycling and all that other shit. And that's not even going to get you out of fucking user fee per mile, right? Because if you're fucking walking to work,
how the fuck do they justify okay, so what's their justification for the user fee per mile? And then what's their justification for walking?
It's climate change, fam. It's climate change. You got to fucking stop the fucking people from driving because climate change. And so one of the things that they've found a deficiency in, right, is with the rollout of vehicles that are past gas and diesel usage, and with the rollout of vehicles that are more fuel efficient. The National Highway Trust Fund was always funded with a gas per mile fee, or a dollar per mile fee, as far as like at the fucking pump. Right, so like per gallon you put in your car, you pay a tax, and that's how they fund the National Highway Trust Fund to do fucking roads, bridges, blah 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 blah. But people are going to be forced out of that fucking gasoline market with the rollout of natural gas, propane, hydrogen, and electric vehicles, and they need to find a new way to fucking fund the fucking National Highway Trust Fund. Now they're gonna fucking charge you a fucking fee at like when you charge your car, They're going to charge you a fucking fee for every amount of natural gas you put in there. They're going to charge you a fee for every fucking bit of hydrogen or propane or whatever the fuck that you're putting in your newly powered vehicle. But it's just another way for them to fucking tax the fuck out of you and force the hand of the state to fucking to force you into the new engineered market, right? So they're of course their fucking their fucking justification is climate change. You know, you got to fucking stop the carbon emissions, carbon zero, and Agenda 2030 and Agenda 35 and whatever the fuck else, right? So
Carbon zero, blah blah blah, zero COVID,
Net zero.
all these fucking
2 weeks
like,
to flatten the curve.
2 weeks.
Zero in your
2
fucking
weeks.
bank account.
Yeah.
Really, zero.
And small businesses and medium businesses. The Build Back Better Act, and AOC's fucking tax the rich address, which just keeps getting funnier, by the way. Like all of that, it is based on, they got rid of 40% of small businesses in some areas during the lockdowns last year. They are coming after medium-sized businesses. When Joe Biden and AOC and Ilhan Omar and they'll talk about, you know, we're not gonna tax anyone under $400,000 a year.
Dude,
Yeah.
I've been watching those press releases and those fucking press conferences by those fucking cunt rags, bro. Like, I hear them saying, we're not going to raise your taxes, which, okay, you're not raising my income tax. You're just creating more taxes for me to fucking pay in other areas, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here, you stupid fuck.
Is this
Like-
HW? Is it HW speaking?
Say what?
It sounds like when fucking HW was out there like, read my lips, no new taxes.
Basically.
For
Serious
real,
ass
dude.
shit.
For fucking real.
Well, and it's
Joe
like
Biden-
tax the rich without restructuring the budget. Like, what the fuck? You just, at that point, you just want like billionaires to pay their fair share of the next Boeing contract.
Well, and see, that's the other thing, is that in the reconciliation package, they are actually fucking reallocating funds. They're restructuring spending, but most of those fucking restructuring programs are not for you, Holmes. All of them are not for you. But what I've kind of fucking come to the realization is with the reconciliation bill, like on my very light reading of it, that one's really short. That one's only 49 pages. That's Bernie Sanders' brainchild, the fucking new czar. That fucker is reliquidifying, for lack of a better term, the existing trust funds, right? So like the Highway Trust, National Highway Trust Fund, the VA Trust Fund, the Social Security Trust Fund, the Medicare Trust Fund, because they're all fucking broke. Because they've been defunding them for so fucking long, and also been borrowing out of it to fucking, you know, bomb Yemen and shit like that. So they have to fucking provide some type of liquidity. They're in a liquidity crisis, and they fucking know it. So they're going to give you a couple of fucking, like, a couple of cool things. Like, there is language in that reconciliation package to give you a $15 minimum wage. But by the time that that's all fucking said and done, the new taxes plus your fucking, plus the inflation, that's going to be worth less than the $725 you were making 2 years ago. So, I mean, what the fuck, dude?
Hey, you'll own nothing and you'll like it though.
I was gonna say, the overarching, I don't know, I guess talking points from the World Economic Forum are all being met legislatively by the Biden administration. And if they're not being met legislatively, they're being quietly purchased up by BlackRock and Berkshire Hathaway and this Vanguard, something like that.
Vanguard Capital. Well, the Vanguard Index in general. I mean, they're a massive hedge fund.
And I remember a time, Shadowban and Glory Jones and Sleepy Josh, when talking about this stuff, well, Naomi Klein called it a conspiracy smoothie, and wouldn't you know it, some of the more gullible members of the independent media that haven't paid attention to Naomi Klein since Shock Doctrine and only like tangentially heard about 530 and the rest of the programs that she was in were like, oh, environment, yeah, that sounds great. Well, yeah, no, sunrise, sure, yeah. And you know, rah environment, AOC, woo. That have now had to like immediately shut up about this. Definitely not say a word to any of us that had been kind of ran through the ringer and treated as conspiracy theorists for bringing these kinds of things to attention. It's fascinating, man, to watch and just know that because the bubble that these guys put themselves in, like, it's a rinse repeat cycle that's going to come all the way until they wind up on a boxcar, because not all of them are going to get to be the next talking head or influencer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, everyone's a fucking calling for blood until it's their own blood being called for. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad how we get to fucking be called fucking smoothie drinkers and fucking conspiracy theorists until like it's staring you in the fucking face, and then like nobody has any apologies for you.
Out the Build Back Better Act.
Well, I mean, I really can't wait to get into that one. I still have quite a few hundred pages to get through on the infrastructure bill. But I mean, dog, it's and then there's going to be, at least as far as I can tell, 2 more fucking bills as far as like censorship and internet fucking cyberspace monopolization, because of the whole Facebook fucking whistleblower, you know, all that.
the first whistleblower to get paraded in front of Congress and instantly get a blue check. Like, literally on Anonymous Bites Back last night, we had an actual Facebook whistleblower who was threatened by the company. Her name is Christine. She didn't get a blue check, but somehow this Francis, what's her last name? Francis does. Right as she's saying that the government needs to regulate Facebook, and we need to choose between a Facebook that allows this kind of content versus Facebook that blue check. Like, oh
yeah, it's kind of fucking. It's kind of like you, right? Is like, we told you it was coming and you didn't fucking believe it. It's here and you still refuse to believe it. But, you know, I was on air for like 2.5 hours and all that. And I don't want to take up too much time, and I have like other things to do. But I thought I would fucking give you guys season finale, because you guys started my fucking whole fucking delve into what I'm going to do on fucking in the independent media space.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like, it's like an homage. It's an homage to you, you know. But you guys have
Paulie, you rock, brother, and thank you for calling in. And hell yeah,
Orale, Shadowban, much love.
Remember, fuck the Build Back Better Act, fuck the Invest in America Act, fuck the Reconciliation Bill, fuck the Build Back Better agenda. And orale porque!
Orale!
This episode brought to you by the letter F. Shout out to Steve for that one. That was a great one.
That's good stuff, man.
Oh, whoops!
It
I accidentally
is.
covered up the Colin thing.
All good.
Okay.
But I do want to read Stash's comment, though. It said the Facebook outage was to cover up the whistleblower so they could delete and further cover their tracks. So people who give a shit
Yeah.
can't put MZ in jail. Social media is a brainwashing machine.
No, that's 100% true. The hack and dump Intel op Pandora papers dropped 2 weeks ago. Right.
That conveniently
And-
just so happened to miss any Five Eyes country, and also were done by a group backed by, who was it?
George Soros.
Yeah, Open Society
oh my-
Foundation.
Barbara Streisand chipped in for this. Like all kinds of weird people threw in on this.
Yeah.
And it's all just, neoliberal predator class.
Ford
and why-
Foundation.
Ford Foundation,
Franklin,
that's right.
yeah, Franklin Philanthropic Foundation, Bay and Paul Foundations, Green Park Foundation, Hollywood Foreign Press Association, Meryl Streep, and then Open Society Foundation, Wellspring Philanthropic Fund. Yeah,
Wellspring, that's right.
yeah.
So I mean, so that happened. So then the not a whistleblower, which is now a phrase we've had to use on this show about multiple people. This is at least the second person we've had to use that phrase for. The first was the Ukraine whistleblower overheard Donald Trump on the phone, who just happened to work for the CIA and was on the clock for the CIA when he happened to hear the president. Thought, yeah. Anyway, so the not a whistleblower goes on 60 Minutes. She says, and this is what they had to cover up, Stash. She says that, or alludes to the fact that Facebook knows that teen suicide has gone up because of their fucking platform. Like directly related to harassment on Facebook and abuse and all kinds of other things that like get into the head of a teenage kid or an adult and capture it. She admitted that. Now, if Facebook really does know, if Facebook knows and does nothing about it, while teens are killing themselves all over the globe, Facebook is criminally liable for that. They're prosecutable for that and definitely finable for that. It could be the end of them. So mysteriously, the very next morning, Facebook goes out for 5 hours, and it was, Josh, help me because I don't want to fuck this up totally, but like bits of source code from the DNS was missing when they came back online.
Oh, I don't know, but I didn't get too into that particular outage. The source code
almost
that was the Twitch thing.
Yeah, source code
no,
was
that too.
But yeah, like no, I don't know that. I didn't get too into the details of the Facebook shit. I just knew it was down. You probably know more than I do about it. But that's fishy if they modified a bunch of DNS shit and stuff during that.
Dude, they got busted for it.
I'm not surprised.
Like, I don't know. Twitter, but the internet busted them for it. I don't know if there's any way that they're ever going to face any, any kind of inside of a courtroom or anything over it. But it happened. There were screenshots all over the fucking interwebs of it. There's articles on it all over the place about source code missing from the fucking DNS records. And
I don't think that's the right term. I'm gonna have to look into this, but
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm fucking it up. But and then something similar happens with Twitch. Like 2 days later.
Oh, Twitch, they straight up had like a bunch of their source code leaked, like of the actual.
Yeah.
That's how people found out about the income of a bunch of streamers like Hassan, etc.
It was like 100 gigabyte dump, dude. There's all kinds of shit in there. And then they they defaced Twitch today with a bunch of pictures of Jeff Bezos. So there's that.
Yay.
Which
look, man. Right? Fly your flag, fellas.
Riding on up in his penis ship. He don't give a fuck about humanity, bitch.
Hell no. Hell no. Dude, and there's people that are like, he's a real pioneer. You know, he went to not space in a dick ship.
And it's like
that his employees paid
rocket ships are already naturally inclined to look like dicks.
But they usually aren't circumcised.
Yeah.
They don't have a head.
Like you had to pronounce, like he pronounced that shit. I was like, he gave it a head.
For real. For real. He did. He gave it a fucking dome. Fucking wild as fuck, dude. His.
Yeah, fucking.
And I get look. Oh man. Sky rockets in flight.
Let me get one.
Wow,
let me get
dude.
one from the best angle here.
657-298-4767 is the number. Bubblegum douche, thank you for the super ray. Much love over there, and to everybody watching on the Rockfin. Because why would you watch anywhere else? We do appreciate the people who watch on YouTube, because for some reason they're more like courageous than the Rockfin audience. The Rockfin audience, a little bit more, I don't know, mellow, reserved, laid back, if you will. Jeff Bezos in that picture looks like he is trying to infiltrate a group of Mormons so that he can murder all of them and take turns wearing their skin.
Oh my god,
okay,
yes.
There's that.
Oh my god,
dude.
yes, Sleepy.
There's that
yes,
dude.
Sleepy.
They got a Hare Krishna vibe for sure. For sure.
Oh,
Hare
I heard
Krishna vibe.
I think I heard the call.
And not the kind that like hook you up with the fucking extra plate of chicken either.
Hello.
Hello. Who is this?
Free Thinker.
Hey, Free Thinker.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on your grandbaby.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Does the kid have a name yet? Do you know the name?
Yes, it's Logan.
Aw.
I don't.
That's cute.
Lovely. How are you this evening?
What?
How are you this evening?
Oh, I'm doing good. I just wanted to call you guys and thank you so much for everything you're doing, man. Glory, you're beautiful. I mean, you are the next generation of, if I could pick activists out of the air for the next generation, you'd be my top pick. I mean, you're beautiful. And Steve, you have helped me evolve so much. I started watching you when you were on the porch there. Remember those days?
There we go. I am no longer muted. I did a porch stream when I left Boulder Creek. I did Yeah, I did one last live stream before I took off from there. That was fun.
Well, I just love you. I mean, the first time I looked at you, you know, I don't remember how I came upon you the first time, but I'm like, oh my God, who's this stoner dude sitting out on his porch? And you were doing shows at that time with that guy Jason, you know, that passed away or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was so interesting to me, and you got me thinking about things. And I mean, I have evolved so much since I started watching you. And I thank you for everything that you've done for me in my life, because you've really turned my life. You know, it's like my thinking got set free, you know what I mean? And I love this addition of Glory to your show, because she is just all the energy, you know, she's just so great. And the crowd in there, the chat room, I love these people, Lucky and Steve and Rob, and I mean, I can't even say them all because I'll forget somebody, you know. But you guys are great, and you fucking crack me up. And Steve, I love your morning show.
Oh, thank you. Dude, I'm hella uncomfortable right now.
Jimmy, you got me onto these other shows too. This Jimmy something, I don't know what his name is. Some late night guy.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Jean.
Now. What?
Jimmy Jean. Into the microcosm.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do that show.
Who else? You got me onto so many people here. It's been great. It's been fucking funny.
You're very, very kind, and I'm very thank you. I appreciate that.
That's so sweet.
That means an awful lot. It really does. And wow.
All this branches out what you're doing, you and Glory. It all branches out because, you know, we get on to you or something, and then we like your message and we like the people that you have on, and then we sub to them, and then we start listening to them, and it branches out to so many avenues, you know. And I'm so eclectic. I mean, people don't, you know, I don't have many friends because they can't wrap their head around me, you know what I mean? Because I like a lot of different things. And you guys are great, because I'm trying to think some of the other people that you got me onto. You've gotten me onto a lot of different shit, man. I'm telling you.
I tried not to get stuck, I guess.
That's true.
We've got safety guests. That's for sure. We do. We totally have safety guests. We try to get a lot of safety guests though, so we can rotate them, so it doesn't look like we're always just leaning on like one or two people. No,
yeah.
with this show, I don't
fight
even.
You for Gordon Dimick.
Yes, that's fine.
Well, listen,
We can dance.
you have people that, you know, like, I get so sick of this fucking Jimmy Dore. Who gives a shit about that guy? He has the same couple people on all the time. You have on, you know, people that maybe others haven't heard of before. You know what I mean? And then you go to them and you learn so much from them as well. And you're like, well, it's this is subjective, it's my opinion, but what I've learned through listening to you is that you have a really good radar on who you have on there. So if you are endorsing somebody by having them on, and then I go and follow them later, it's spot on. I mean, you know, and I'm not talking about nobody agrees with everybody and all this stuff. I'm saying to listen to other opinions and, you know, evolve your mind, expand your mind, you know. You do it for me, man. You are the best. You are the best in getting people on there and, you know, expanding to other avenues, right?
Well,
To me,
I appreciate the hell out of that, and been really fortunate for 3 years on Sunday to have the best looking audience in independent media. But also, like, I mean, dude, everybody that's been with the show for a while has, you know, reached out a lot from time to time. There's a number of people that, like, I do know personally now. The chat showed up, like, for the most part, the chat showed up knowing as much or more as I did. It's just there weren't a lot of people talking about the stuff that I was talking about. And the people that were coming from, I guess, like, climbing up the ladder of independent media in terms of getting away from narrative management and more into all the things that we actually could be learning about and talking about, you know. I think it's got to be like that. I don't, like I've said this from about to, I don't think you show up to the show the day after you realize that corporate news is bullshit. Or, like, I'd hope not. We would scare the shit out of you. You'd be like,
yeah,
oh, that's what they were talking about on the news last night. I'm going back. They were right.
yeah, but Steve, you know what? Like, you taught me it's an evolution, right?
It is, though. It is. And I would hope that, like, I know for a fact.
A lot of these independent media shows that I started to listen to around the same time I did you, are just all they are. They continue to be like light mainstream media. You know, I'm not going to mention names, but all they do is spout out this crap, you know, election stuff and AOC and all this shit. I don't care about this shit. You know what I mean? You and, like, Convo Couch, Jason Burmis, I love you guys. Oh, T-Love, you know, I listen to Ryan Christian every day because I have 4 grandchildren. This information about this goddamn vaccines and all this shit matters to me. You know what I mean? So I'm listening to him all the time, and that's a real dedication because he's got these 3-hour shows every day.
Yeah, I can't. I love you, Ryan, but I can't do it. It's too long. I got stuff to do.
Well, if you Sleepy Josh, if you were a grandparent, you would be listening, okay?
I mean, I'm a parent, so I mean, I get it. Like, and I do actually go back and listen to a lot of his streams after the fact, but I can't do it live. It's just it's too much, too quick, and for like 3 hours, it's insane. It's just a lot.
I go through the articles that he posts.
And And this Whitney Webb, oh my God, she blows my mind. I mean,
ours too.
Such great people on, Steve. And Vanessa Beeley, I absolutely love her. Never, Steve, if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't have known about these people. You know? And this is what it's all about to me. It's like being deep into the topics, deep into this stuff, not this bullshit with, you know, some of these other independent media stations talking about just going over the bullshit of the day, you know, about the squad or Biden or Trump, or I don't give a shit about this shit. You know what I mean? I like listening to what you guys talk about. These are the topics that interest me. This is the most important thing. Foreign affairs, what's going on with, you know, and how do we get ourselves out of this? And listening to like Derek Blows, I never would have known about him if I hadn't been listening to you. So
Derek's a hell of a fella.
Huh?
I said Derek is a hell of a guy. I just saw where him and Burmis and Pat Militek are going to be doing an event this weekend.
All right.
Yeah, Jason's been advertising this. So that's really cool. I'm going to be plugging into him. Not, you know, I can't go there physically, but I'll be watching him. But sorry, I've been yapping on too long here, but thank you so much for all you've contributed to my life. And Glory, I love you. You're beautiful. You just keep going, girl.
Thanks, Bree. Thank you.
I've never met anyone with your kind of mind at such a young age. I mean, you're gonna do wonders for this world. I mean, Jesus Christ, we need, like, you know, thousands of you out there. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
She ain't wrong. She ain't wrong.
It's true. I've said it.
Thanks, Bree.
Fucking
Thank
army
you.
of Glory Joneses
Glory,
over
thank
this.
you for listening to me, and thank you for all you're doing for me and everybody else out there.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you so much for calling in and for your very, very kind words. I appreciate the hell out of you.
Well,
All right,
love.
we got time
You have
for
no
2
idea
or
how
3
much
more
I
guys.
love you. You just don't know.
Much love, Free Thinker. Take care.
Congratulations on the new addition to your family. Much love to Logan.
So much.
Yes. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
All right, we had a regular caller trying to get in.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, here he is. Here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what up?
Hi.
Can you hear me, brothers?
Yeah, hear you perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sick as fuck tonight, but since it's the season finale of the world, I call in to my brother and my sister and my other brother and whoever else I'm going to adopt, I guess. So did you check out that fucking Pigman yesterday?
I saw that. I did. I saw that. So if you guys don't know,
creepy.
Science in a lab successfully cloned the first pig-human hybrid. And it is the most disgusting
I hit
thing.
you up in the DMs, dude. I sent you a picture of that thing moving, and they fucking pulled it in about 4 seconds, dude.
bro. It was
It was alive though. It looked like a little Danny DeVito looking motherfucker with shit all over it.
It really did. It really did. It looked like it fell off of one of Henry Kissinger's chins. Is what it looked like. It was foul.
The Blob, right?
Yeah, no, that thing is nuts, dude.
Birthday. Get that goddamn memory hole going.
Yeah, no. So right now we've got one episode that's gonna come out Sunday night, and then another one that's gonna come out Thursday that I need to cut, and then I'm going to be taping 2 more this next week. One with Charlie Robinson on the Vegas shooting.
By the way, Steve, send me your notes now that you're home for cutting that.
Oh yes, yeah.
I was going to suggest like Michael Hastings, but whatever. All right. There's a lot of memory holes out there.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That's what it like. I mean, the sky's the limit with this. It really is. The whole point, hopefully, is that people start connecting dots. And I definitely I want to get Whitney on to do the PNAC document. I've got there's a whole bunch of
something fucking real hard. Yeah.
Oh, wait, is that real? Is that pig?
Yes, it's real, Glory Jones. It's real. It's real.
Oh my
I just listened to Whitney this morning, actually, with Ryan, and of course, more beautiful information, just fucking firing, you know. I love her.
I'm not even gonna show that.
I'm blissfully ignorant.
I regret my curiosity getting the better of me on that.
In hindsight, I should not have Googled that.
Yeah. if you guys are like me and your curiosity leads you to find it, then
no, dude, just go watch the Man Bear Pig South Park instead. Just do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. All right, I'm gonna clear the line for you motherfuckers. I'll see you next time you do this.
Well, hey, thank you very much, man. And yeah, thank you for freaking me the fuck out with that. Dude, they're man-pig hybrid. Man-pig hybrid.
Right. Right. So I'm super sick right now. I'm going to take a little bit of mushrooms and see if that helps me. And I think it will.
You may not feel better, but you'll feel better about it.
Right.
I hope you have a swift recovery, my friend, and thank you for calling in, and have a great rest of your weekend. Get well soon.
Yep, good. Take it easy, brother.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
Take care.
All right, we're in the final 30, y'all. So 2-3 calls, and we're gonna call it a night.
All right.
And I let's see. Oh, I had something, and now I can't remember where it went. Dude, there did that thing get yanked? Or yeah, it did. There was a Twitter thread that popped up with it was Vigi Access. It's a database for reporting adverse events, and when you took that database and you added it to VAERS, which according to the database you were supposed to, because it was a different reporting system than VAERS, we're looking at very dangerous products. Oh, good night, Lucky and Steve. Steve Cutler is live over at his channel, spinning them tunes.
Mona Carmona, you are late.
Yeah, no, actually, that's legit. Let's put Sleepy on the spot because I got to duck out for a second.
She knows for a fact that I am high right now. And I don't do well on the spot.
At least you don't have your camera on.
Yeah, I don't even have it fucking plugged in right now.
Well, shout out Mona. It's always nice to get the gang in. And, you know, as long as it's almost wrapping time, then after watching this, go on over to Steve Cutler Live and check out their stream. Leo! My dog. Take care, Leo. And your owners, Lucky and Steve.
See, now I'm like, I have nothing to say now at all. Like, I get put on the spot and I like lock up like a deer in headlights. You know what I did today, Rob? I slept a bunch. It was pretty glorious.
Man walks
Josh
into a
slept.
restaurant, get down and order soup.
And I worked on
Connor. Hello.
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 Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi. It's Phenomenal Mystism.
Hey, Phenomenal Mystism.
Oh, hey there.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Just a little tired. Just wanted to say hi to y'all and ask you like a question.
Yeah, what's your
Go
question?
ahead.
When do you think science when people start to become so dogmatic towards science, when they start to say trust the science? When do you think that happened, and how do you think it happened?
I'd say it started first with all this talk of climate change, not saying that there isn't any problems with our environment and that we aren't actively destroying the earth. But I think once the discourse surrounding like climate change via carbon emissions kind of hit the fan, a lot of people got sucked up into that and into like this abstract form of climate change that leads people into believing like these neoliberal gasmic solutions like the carbon tax. So I think in pushing for that, any pushback against that was considered anti-science because it was tied to something like the climate and the weather. So I think it started there. But I mean, or at least in my lifetime, like from what I can remember, it really started there. And then it just got ramped up because of all the COVID shit. So yeah.
1992.
Okay.
1992.
That's a solid answer.
That's when it really kicked off. This is the election of Bill Clinton and Al Gore. This is the very first critical mass, the bicycle event. This is the kickoff of the think globally, act locally, recycle everything. You're not a good person if you don't recycle about it. And it was also when we really started seeing the narratives that the extreme like anti-intellectualism in the narrative managers on the right, which carries through to this day. And then the beginning of that like almost snarky. It didn't get perfected until Jon Stewart about a decade later, but that's when you really first started to see it. Bill Hicks had bits in 92 where that's the whole like, oh, looks like we got us a reader. like that bit. That comes from that era where the more like liberal, I get, you can't really call them progressive because I don't really know what the word for that was other than like snot-nosed asshole. But had that mean streak where it was, well, we're the smart people, so we know because we have scientists and we have mathematicians, shit like that. And that's when that mentality became pervasive, but it didn't become ingrained in the culture until all the stuff that Glory's talking about. And mostly I blame Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. I grew up on that shit, dog.
No degree in science whatsoever.
I know, but he was so fun. When you grow up on it, it's different. Like, obviously now I see it's bullshit, but like when I grew up on it, like every time you turn that shit on, it was like, hey, Bill.
I grew up on it too.
Yeah, I know.
I have another question. It's a scientific question. It's a question that scientists are trying to answer.
Okay.
Is fire a state of matter, or is it an energy? We're talking about fire. Is it plasma? Do you think it's plasma?
Or is it energy?
Or is it energy?
So I've used a plasma torch, plasma cutter. Directed energy is matter.
Huh? I'm just looking at a toilet later now.
I mean, directed energy is matter.
I definitely think it is a matter, but then it could also be energy since it's using heat. But then if you trust the science, it will say, no, we will say it's unknown.
You could say it's like a combination of, Hold on.
I mean, so at which point in plasma's state and at which point in plasma's use does the distinction between energy and matter become a difference?
I have no idea.
Right, me either.
Huh.
Me either.
I know fire needs fuel, a gas and heat for it to occur. But then
it needs oxygen, it needs a spark, but it needs heat and a spark.
Yes, but if one of those things are missing, then it's not fire. So I don't know if it's energy or if it's matter or if it's both. Some are saying it's neither. I have no idea.
I really don't either. I'm gonna check what's the Rockfin chat thing? Gaina Fauci says science is dished out by ideologues who have no tolerance for science.
It's true. A lot of people are worshiping science as it's a god, and I think it's ultimately destroying it too.
It's only one brand of science, right? And that is corporate approved, like ready with the product placement,
Science, the New York Times,
agenda driven. Yeah. There's enough reported adverse events. There's enough data from Israel. There's enough data from a lot of the places that have moved on to boosters now, to where it's you should yank these things. You should, under any ordinary circumstance, all of these would have been removed from the shelves. And we're not doing that. We're reorganizing society.
Yeah. Even the World
Why?
Health Organization opposes these booster shots.
Yeah.
But you can't get on an airplane without one starting November 1st.
Or into the club.
Or into the club, period. Now, yeah.
With a booster shot, you can't go on an airplane?
I just saw a couple of days ago
Really?
where the airlines are talking about it and Congress is talking about it. They have suggested that you should do it voluntarily before.
I'm just speechless. They already mandated the vaccines, and most people around me don't even know that they're mandated.
I mean, that means you live in a good place.
That's all I had to say. So, thank you for taking my call. I'm glad I talked to you.
Yeah, thanks for calling in and for asking your fire question.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll see you later.
Peace.
Have a fantastic night. Well, I was looking for the thread on airlines and air travel. And I do want to I want to get that right. So I'll make sure that we have that, and we'll do a few minutes on it on Sunday.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Steve.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're on a delay. Should I
just listen on the phone, and mute the stream.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about your commune, but to explain fire, it's fairly easy. It is a plasma. When electrons get excited in a plasma, they oscillate between one level and another. When they go down, they release photons. What you see is those photons.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
So it's just, huh?
So anyway, thank you.
What kind of house are you planning on building?
Let's see. In my head, based on the available space, kind of a lame looking rectangle that is going to be cooler because of the decks. But sort of longhouses style. I'm gonna throw a loft up or a second story on one end and a little balcony off of it, because out of the front door the view from it is phenomenal. I don't like
So are you talking about cob or straw bale or traditional
Yeah, no, this is all going to be wood, or almost all of it. All that we can use, going to be wood from the property. There's
like a log cabin.
Well, not necessarily. I was kind of thinking we got the ability to do it, but you can make shiplap siding. So, or like regular, like even regular just panel, just wood slat siding.
Okay, investigate this. You dig a hole.
Pardon?
Investigate this. You dig a hole, and you use that material to build a earth bag cellar, which will be your bedroom, because it'll be down under earth and very cool. Are you still listening?
I am. I live in earthquake country though, so I don't know.
You live what?
I live in earthquake country. I live where the ground moves a lot.
Yeah. Well, the earth doesn't. The earth doesn't. Do you live right on a fault line? I'm sorry. You live in Humboldt County, right? I'm in San Francisco. Yeah. I know about earthquakes. So, there's easy places to find. Do you have a flat land where you're gonna grow food? Where you're gonna have a food forest, or?
Yeah, no. There's a couple of different spots.
My bird is messing up the.
It's a loud bird, my friend.
Yeah, she is.
But no, there's a couple of different spots that we've got picked out up here for like a couple of different permaculture gardens. Ben was talking about doing a workshop up here this spring, permaculture garden workshop. And
cool. I like permaculture.
Actually, you know what? It's funny you should mention real quick. I don't.
So much cooler.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, my friend Roxanne was one of Sepp Holzer's like students. She's got the knowledge on the Google. Well, what was I gonna say? God damn it! Now I lost it. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyways, I have a wood chipper here. I'd like to come see you in Humboldt County and give it to you.
Oh wow. Okay. Let's see. sndshow@protonmail.com. What chat are you? What platform were you watching the show on? And I'll stick it in the chat.
I spelled it wrong. Hold up. No. I forgot the L. Oh, it's in the YouTube.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello. My bird says hello too. Anyway,
that's funny.
So I did try to contact you on email. I don't know how. What did you say?
I am also like, I am also frequently bad at checking my email. But
yeah. I'm sorry. This delay is messing me up.
It's all good. We get it.
Angel, stop.
The bird's name is Angel.
Yeah, I should have named her El Diablo.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That is. It's awesome.
Yeah, but she's all white.
Well, what kind of bird?
Lucifer. Maybe Lucifer would have been better. You like the show?
That's hilarious.
Have you seen the show on Netflix?
I have not.
I haven't.
But that's funny.
Oh, it is. Start from the beginning. Don't start at the end. But it is so funny. Anyways, so yeah, I will try again to get you by email. Yeah, she's on my shoulder
And
now.
what should I look out like? Or if you're on Twitter or Instagram, you can DM me too.
Say again?
I said if you're on Twitter or Instagram, you can message me too. I have open DMs.
No, I don't like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All of that is
Good for
bullshit.
you.
I don't listen to it because
Good
it
for
just
you.
messes with your mind and soaks up your time.
That's true. It does. I try to just promote the show. I try to. Doesn't always work out.
I
Try.
appreciate the self-awareness there, Steve.
Man.
Okay, I will
if
try and
we-
contact you by email. Look out for it.
I absolutely will. Thank you very much. That's awesome.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Take care. Have a fantastic night. Thank you for calling in. We've got 6 minutes. We should probably wind it. What do you think, Sleepy?
Yeah, probably. I'm hungry.
All right. Me too. I'm gonna forage.
Speech.
Well, cool.
Speech. Sleepy speech.
That's funny.
I ain't giving no damn.
So we've got some cool stuff coming up. The show turns 3 on Sunday. That's awesome. Glory Jones will be celebrating 1 year on the show. We will be joined by Ian Schlackman. I think I'm going to try and cobble together some additional last minute tomfoolery. And yeah, dude, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. We're going to have our makeup interview with Kit Knightley from Off Guardian the following Sunday. We were hanging out with Spike Cohen on Halloween, you guys. That's hysterical. That's hysterical. I totally, yeah, that'll be a good time. I'm still frazzled from like driving for 10 hours today, so I'm a little bit off. I apologize. But I did want to be able to do the show because we're not going to be able to do the show for a while. So I do enjoy these. They're fun. I'm gonna try and keep the call-in thing as an option on some of the other shows. And yeah, dude,
just to clear out the data issue, we gotta cut around the edges, or else we're only gonna be able to stream like 2 weeks out of the month. So you gotta
and that would suck. Hell yeah. So yeah, unless we can get like 800 fucking modems, like it's just not gonna happen. At any rate, what you got, Joe?
Once we get up there, I think we'll have some more options. So we'll see.
I hope so.
Sleepy.
What do you got, Jones?
You can find me on the ground and around. I'll be on the ground tomorrow at Hollywood and Vine Street at 10 a.m. in the morning for whatever's gonna happen there. You know me, I'll be focusing on what's real and partake in a potential metaphorical car crash. But and also have a Hive blog at Zero Eclipse with 2 E's at the end. And Yeah. Oh, in terms of updates for the Commander X case, so his hearing on the 12th is being rescheduled because of some legal developments that his lawyer is doing or whatever. So the Commander X hearing on October 12th is not going to happen. It's going to be rescheduled. They're trying to look at November 9th, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. So if you're in the San Jose area, you can feel free to protest outside the courthouse on the 12th safely and carefully. But I won't be there just because of school and work. It's hard to work out a way to make it up there in the middle of the week. But but even though you're always welcome to protest and you can still protest on the 12th, we will definitely hold a protest in conjunction with Commander X's next court hearing, whenever that ends up rescheduled for. So, and then also, what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. For any updates at @FreeCommanderX_ on Twitter. And yeah. In terms of other protests, maybe I'll work on getting something together for either the 27th or 28th for Julian Assange's appeal hearing here in LA. Just something to show support for him, even though like LA isn't really, in front of Merrick Garland's house or Belmarsh prison. Might do something, and because I'm starting to speak it into existence. So like I start actually doing stuff to make it happen. Since with Commander X's court hearing being rescheduled, my mind kind of went away from that. So yeah, now I can go back towards this, and I'm all over the place. But yes, that's me, and my promos that haven't gotten any less awkward since I joined the show.
Old Pink, thank you for the Super Ray. SND and A for A have been a huge inspiration to me these last couple years. Much love and thanks to you. Thank you. That's awesome. I mean, you rock. So that's gonna do it. And yeah, it really does. I think the thing that Burmis and Militech and Bros are doing is part of that national or nationwide protest this weekend. So that's cool. Or Monday, the 11th. You know what I mean? I'm fucking frazzled, man. I'm gonna get the fuck up off of this thing. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for being a part of all of this. It's been 3 absolutely wild years. Hey, let's do a podcast, right? Right as the fucking World Economic Forum and the Technocratic Panopticon are emerging. It'll be lighthearted and fun. I can joke a lot.
Hey, Glory, how would you feel about co-hosting the show with me once or twice a month?
Schedule permitting. Schedule permitting.
Yay.
It's a lot. It's a lot, dude. I know. It's fucking, dude. I don't know. Nobody does it like this though. So there's
no,
that.
Sir.
No
one does it
love
like
the shit out of you guys.
Gang.
That's true. We'll see you very soon. Big thanks as always. Sleepy Josh on the 1s and 2s. My better than your co-host, Glory Jones. See you soon.
Salty
Good
hype
luck to
man.
us all.
Love y'all.